Hey there, hope you're doing great. I'm Jim Munchbach, CEO of BayRock Financial, and in this short video I want to show you how to create your profile in RightCapital. RightCapital is the financial planning software that we use at BayRock Financial. So let's jump right in. If you're watching, you can see that I am on the home page of BayRockFinancial.com. So if you go to BayRockFinancial.com, you'll see what I'm seeing, and you'll notice these links at the top, and there's lots of information for you to get started to better understand the financial planning process. Just click on any of those links if you want to go deeper into our process for financial planning and each of these essential elements of the financial planning process. But in addition to just the information there in that drop down, I want to go over, actually in this video I'm just going to focus on the planning portal, because that's what I want to do in this video, is quickly show you how to set up your profile in RightCapital. So if you click on the planning portal, this is one way to get started. It's a really good way to get started. It takes you to this landing page where you enter your email address, the one that you want to use to be interacting with BayRock, with me, with one of our advisors. So at BayRock, you click on that link, takes you to this landing page. And by the way, if you've already done this and you just want to access your financial plan, just go to the bottom and click on login here, and it will take you right to your account. But you're going to enter, if you're setting it up for the first time, you enter your email address, you give it a good password, one that you'll remember. Please write it down, first name, last name, and hit create account. And then we get started. Now let's jump into the process of filling out your profile so that you know what we're looking for. And don't worry, anything that you may not get right on the first pass, we can go over that together and update it and correct it and talk about it. But let's get started. By the way, if you received an email from me or someone on my team, this is what that would look like, and you can certainly sign up in this way. It will just take you right to the same page we looked at it a moment ago. This planning software at RightCapital uses bank-level encryption to ensure your information is safeguarded.
When it comes to financial planning, you want assurance that your data and investments are secure. BayRock Financial partners with RightCapital to provide top-tier financial planning and investment management services. RightCapital uses Amazon's special buildings called data centers to keep all the important information safe. Think of these data centers like a super secure bank vault where all the computer data is stored. Amazon makes sure these vaults are really safe by using different kinds of safety rules. Here's what some of them mean along with the official name of each safety regulation. ISO certifications. These are like having different kinds of locks and alarms to make sure only the right people can get in. SOC standards. Think of this as a group of smart security guards who constantly check everything to make sure it's safe. PCI DSS Level 1. This makes sure that when you use a credit card online, the information is sent in a secret code so no one else can read it. FISMA Moderate. This is like having a watchdog that barks if anything unusual happens, so people know to check for problems. Sarbanes-Oxley, SOX. This rule makes sure that the people who run the company are following all the rules so that everything is fair and honest. SEC Rule 17A4. This is like having a camera that records everything, so if something goes wrong, people can look back and see what happened. These safety features make sure that all of your important information is kept safe and secure.
And do note, you don't have to complete your profile in one sitting. You can stop at any point and return to the platform to pick up where you left off. So to begin, we'll start off on step 1, family profile. This is where you will input your family's information. Just click into each card to update the date of birth and state of residence, and remember to click Save. If you need to add additional family members to the plan, click the Add Participant button. And these boxes are called cards, by the way. So should you need to delete any of the cards within the software, you can hover over the X button to do so. Entering accurate ages is especially important for retirement projections, Social Security, and college planning. Once the family section is completed, we can click Next and begin Step 2. Bear in mind you can skip sections as needed, but please enter as much information as you can to the best of your ability. Under Step 2, Income, we can input your salary information. Click into the salary card to update it, and we're going to use your gross salary because taxes will be calculated automatically later within the RightCapital software. Enter the salary information for other members of the family, and don't forget to click Save. We'll move to future income sources like Social Security. If you aren't currently collecting, you can use the Simple Estimate feature, or you can input your full retirement benefit amount if you know what that is. Just click on the Based on Full Retirement Benefit option. Alternatively, if you're already collecting Social Security, you can click the Already Receiving checkbox and input your monthly benefit amount. If you have other streams of income to include, click the Add Income button and select from the categories displayed. One example would be if you have a pension but don't know the details. You can input a pension income card kind of as a placeholder, and then you can discuss that with me later on when we'll take a closer look at this card. But the card being there will serve as a reminder. So now we'll click Next and move on to the next 3 savings cards. The savings section is where we will input annual contributions to your investments, not their total balances. We will input account balances on the next tab. So if you're contributing to a 401k, click on the 401k card and input your contribution amount. You can enter your contribution as either a percentage of your salary or a flat dollar amount. If you're maximizing your contribution, you can select maximum contribution here. So we'll also want to account for employer matches. And in this example, we have 100% employer match for up to 3% of your salary. Once in place, just click Save. So now to add other savings, click on the Add Savings button and select the correct savings option. For example, if you're also saving to a Roth IRA, select Roth IRA and input the contribution amounts and the duration. Once that's in place, click Next and move on to Step 4, Net Worth. In the net worth section, we'll input accounts, properties, and insurance. The net worth section is a crucial piece of the data entry process. This is where we will input all of your assets and liabilities as they stand today. There are 2 options for inputting your account information. You may see the Link Account feature, and if you click the Link Account button, you can securely link all of your accounts to your RightCapital planning dashboard, and then you can view them in one place. For example, if you have a 401k at Empower Retirement, you can look up Empower, select the correct URL, input your username and password, and any multi-factor security code that you're prompted. So you'll be prompted for the code, and then it'll come to you usually via text, phone call, or email. Once you've entered that, your accounts will link. And what's cool is the balances will update automatically. Please do note that most financial institutions now require multi-factor authentication in order to link to third-party vendors like RightCapital. So make sure you have multi-factor authentication set up at your institutions. In order to link with RightCapital, you can link checking and savings accounts, credit cards, investment accounts, loans, and mortgages, all within this one account linking tool. If you're unable to link accounts, you can input the accounts manually simply by clicking the Add Account menu and selecting the account type from the drop-down. Again, if there are any questions, feel free to add the account as a placeholder for the time being, and we'll discuss this when we get together at our first meeting. So input property information. To do that, just click into the property section on the left-hand menu. Here we can set the primary residence. Make sure you change that from rent to own if you own your home, and input the details of your home, such as your purchase price, current value, annual taxes, insurance, and maintenance expenses. And once you have all that filled in, just click Save. We'll also want to account for any mortgages associated with the home. So if you've linked your mortgage, then this is already accounted for. And if not, we can add the mortgage by clicking Add Account and selecting the loan option, where we can then input the parameters of the mortgage. Things like the original amount, the year you took out the loan, the term of the loan, the interest rate, and the loan's current balance. With all those details in place, a minimum payment will generate. And if you're making more than the indicated minimum payment, include the amount of your payment in the monthly payment field, and then just click Save. Should you have any other properties, such as investment or vacation properties, you can add those to the plan by clicking the Add Account button and selecting the correct property type. You'll want to input insurance policies as well under the Net Worth section. To do so, select Add Account, Insurance, and we can input the parameters of the policy. For example, if you have group life through your employer, you can input the death benefit and the annual premium, and then click Save. Lastly, under the Net Worth section, we can add assets under the Other category, and this will account for valuable items such as boats, RVs, or your prized collection of original artworks. Alternatively,
once we have the network
if
section
you
squared away, we're
own
nearly
a
done.
business,
So far.
you can list this as another asset by selecting the correct business type from the drop-down menu. Once we've got the net worth section all squared away, we're nearly done. So far, we've indicated our income, savings, and assets. Now we'll need to account for our expenses and goals. So let's jump to step 5, expenses. Under expenses, we'll input our average monthly expenses, excluding items such as mortgage payments, debt payments, or insurance premiums, because we've already accounted for those under the previous step in the net worth section. Your monthly expenses should include items such as bills and utilities, groceries, entertainment, etc. If you don't know your monthly budget offhand, you can ask me later, and I'll help you figure out how the budget feature will estimate your average monthly spending. The budget tool takes all of the transactional data from your linked bank accounts and aggregates it into your monthly spending across the budget categories. And if you do not have the budgeting tool available, you can reference this information at your bank's ends, at their site, at your bank's website, to review your historical spending. But for now, we'll ballpark monthly expenses, let's say $5,000. If you want to add additional expenses such as medical or alimony, any of those expenses, you just click Add Expense and select the correct expense type. And once we've accounted for our expenses, we'll get to the fun part. Here in the final step, we can enter our financial goals. First, we'll want to indicate the age at which we retire, and no, tomorrow is not the best option. So click into the retirement data card and update the retirement ages accordingly. Next, we'll move to our retirement monthly expenses. And this card is very similar to the pre-retirement living expenses we input under the previous step. However, let's say once retired and the kids are all out of the house, we now anticipate our monthly spending to be, let's say, a little bit lower here. So we can key in $4,500 and click Save. And for younger clients, we recommend keeping the retirement expense card on par with the pre-retirement living expense card, the one we did earlier. So lastly, we'll find two pre-populated cards, one for retirement healthcare costs and annual retirement LTC, which is long-term care. These costs, these numbers, are based off of a national average for Medicare expenses as well as long-term care expenses. You'll likely have other goals, maybe funding your child's college or purchasing a vacation home in retirement, or maybe even buying a boat. These are all items that can all be included in the goals section. And now you're all set. Once we hit the complete button, that's a very important button. Yes, so once you hit the complete button, then I'll get an email notifying me that you've completed the first few steps of setup, and then we can schedule an appointment to review your plan and start to build onto what you've already done. And this is what it would look like. This is Billy's plan, and you can see there's a lot of information in here for Billy, and your plan could be very much the same. There's way more here for me to cover in this video, but I did want to just show you what it looks like on my end. So these are the 6 sections that you created: your net worth, your goals, your income, your savings, and your expenses. And most of all, the people you love, the people in your family who will be a part of this financial planning process. So just wanted to show you that. I'll see you in the next video. If you haven't already done so, you may want to, let me just do this real quick. So I will be doing much more training tutorials, and you can join our online course. It's free. It's called 30 Days to Make Your Money Count, and it's designed to help you really get a quick start in your financial planning process. You can ask me anything, so just again, go back to BayRockFinancial.com and you see all of these links, and you can enroll in the online course, which I would encourage you to do. If you want to book a meeting with me anytime, just click on Ask Me Anything, and that will take you to my calendar. That's the best way to find a time that works for you without us having to play phone tag and email tag and all of that. So please help me by doing that when you're ready to meet. I hope that helps. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.